assume that you are not practiced it, but it's good. It's worth giving it a try and dirtying your hands with that. Okay, so basically what it does is it goes to a Twitter data. Whatever the new tweets coming in, it will be picked up and it's going to push it into the HDFS environment. Yes, it's available on the dashboard. Last session, right? Scoop, Flume, and Uzi. In that particular session, it's available on the dashboard. So I think even I've shown you guys how exactly in the last session I have discussed that. So in case if you don't recollect, it's worth. I think it's at the 20th one. Yeah, this is one. Flume installation guide. So I have just picked it up from this. It should be session number 20. Okay, in the session number 20, this how exactly a Flume installation guide is there. So this clearly states what needs to be done and how exactly you can take the data back. See, and the Twitter data is being created and how exactly you can take the data into your HDFS environment. And I think I have even mentioned how exactly you need to put a Control-C to make you guys remember, right? See, this data keeps flushing into your HDFS environment. Press Control-C and to stop how exactly. I mean, I recollect making all the statements. Okay, so there's that document. I mean, just go through that document and then you should be able to replicate exactly the same thing. The similar exercise you're going to do over here. Instead of getting from a Twitter data, it's going to be much simpler one. So you just need to point it to a folder where you have kept your XML file and you can start pulling the data. So that's all we are going to do. And then you're going to bring it into your Hadoop environment. Yes, one single directory, and you're going to take it up, and then Flume is going to connect to that particular directory. So exactly this diagram. Flume is going to connect to this directory and then bring it into HDFS environment. Correct. That's exactly what's happening. I mean, see, it's really not a Flume requirement would not be there over here, but think of a situations where exactly. Okay, let me just make you in sync with the real-time scenario. Think of an example, this particular directory, every 15 minutes, someone is pushing data into this. Okay, in the real world, this is exactly what you might be seeing, right? There is a directory, and every 15 minutes, there is one data coming up, and again, there is one more data coming up, keep on coming in every 50 minutes. So that's the time the Flume will keep finding it out, and then it takes the data and move to HDFS environment. So that's more like a real, how exactly, but here, in our example, just we have one single XML file. So once you try to configure it, you can build on top of it a little bit more advanced stuff and things like that. You can try doing that. Okay. So as of now, for this project purpose, get this Flume in set, connect to this directory, take it to HDFS file. Once you have this guy in an XML format and an HDFS, you're going to write a pig script. Okay. You're going to write a pig script and convert that XML file, and I'm not sure whether there is some sort of filtering also required. Take the XML file, filter it or convert it into a CSV file. Okay. Then you're going to write a Hive. Okay. Then you're going to write a Hive script to convert this existing CSV file and pull some report out of it. So in Hive, so what you're going to do is you actually create a temporary table here. That's what you're supposed to do technically. You're going to create a temporary table in the Hive and using Scoop. Now you have to import that data from, I think export the data, not import. Export the data from Scoop to the MySQL DB. This is the technical architecture of it. Any questions on it? Now let's go to the business relevance, but I mean, technically, this is how it should look like. I'll be sending you guys this flow diagram too, so that you have it. I mean, I have created this during my previous session, which was pretty helpful for me to explain. Okay. Okay. Okay, now what we need to do? Going back to the business requirement document. Close my window. I stay just next to the airport, so you can hear a lot of flight. Okay. Yeah. Okay, the following requirement will be addressed in the phase one of the project: developing system to handle, which we already discussed. Analyze the data and understand the progress. This is more going to be an RDBMS. We have not implemented that on Edge page. So my requirement, I mean, what I would think is first get it on RDBMS, and then in case required, if you want to develop on that project, I would say Edge phase. So Edge phase solutions might be a little bit more complicated than the RDBMS. We can use the data manipulation and get more insights. Now, visualization, as far as concerned, something which is freely available is the only tool. I think it's Tableau, which can be your, once you're done with your ecosystem, Hadoop ecosystem, you can think of a Tableau, and Tableau is available for 14 days trial version. So after that, we will not be able to get it. So it's just a 14-day trial version. So not that easy to get everything up and running in 14 days. But there are pretty good YouTube videos and all those things available in case if you really want to showcase this as a good project. You can very well do that. Okay. The log will be generated in an XML format and stored in the server, which is nothing but the one which we discussed over here. This is the server for us, where I'm going to get the log file. Describe that any item, the system may not be used to search for now. Yeah, these are the constraints. System will be using its basis, I mean, which we are now changing into RDBMS. The Flume job, which will replace the format of the data to HDFS, big MapReduce. We have seen this with pictorial representation, which was much more clear, right? What is that? There's a statement, picture speaks 1,000 words, right? So this is much clearly depicted in our flow diagram. Okay, so you may have to, I'll be sharing you this document. You may have to get your data from this particular link. I have downloaded it. So refer the below step. How exactly this you need to pick up from the document, the Flume document, which you're talking about, session number 20. How exactly you're going to open the Flume agent. Copy data from the local file system. Pretty much description is given. Input file is in XML format. Use MapReduce or pig. So either you can go for a MapReduce or a pig to pass the data and get the results to the below problem statement. So now let's come to the problem statement. Find out the districts who achieved 100% objective export. 100% objective. Export the result to MySQL using Scoop. Anyway, these are all we already discussed. Only this. Find out the districts who achieve 100% result. Okay, so you may have to have a little closer look, which we are going to give. Okay, which is coming up from here, this link. So I have copied that data. Okay, I moved on to somewhere else. Final project. This is what we have. Final project. Solutions. Okay. Yeah, problem or not. Let me just try showing you with the data. State-wise progress. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay. So basically the problem one says, find out the district who achieved 100% objective. So there is a percentage stuff is given over here. Performance score, percentage of completion, something of that sort. Project objective. somewhere percentage of completion, something of that sort is there. You have to look into this project. This is actual data being picked up. Okay, so that's where the real challenge would be. The real data would not be as fancy as you might be seeing employee ID, employee name, department, right? The reality, when you hit the reality, that's no more the case. So somewhere over here, performance RSM. Let me search for Control F. Percentage. No, I can't see any percentage. The one field of it should determine project performance. Project performance. Yeah, I would assume this is the guy. Project performance school toilet. 7004. Anganwadi, this thing. Project performance has some. I think that should be, should be 37%. Okay, there should be a description about it somewhere, is what I'm thinking. I can't see that now. So basically, yeah. So as a technical person, what I need to understand over here is there is a field. There should have been somewhere is given, or in case not, I'll try to pick that information. So based on what field you really need to figure out. So my gut feeling is this is what I need to rely on. This is what this particular RSM field is what I'm relying on. So let me Control C, Control V. Okay. This is 0%, 11, 20, 13, 40, 49, 10. So I can see some 90 somewhere. So basically, okay, let's, I can see another field which says projects SCW. There is 150 and all those things. So definitely that cannot be that definitely can't be a project status. Let me try to figure, let me give that particular field information because that's not that easy. So my gut feeling would be this one. Okay, but there is a RSM. Oh, PC. Oh, I think this should be the 1%, right? This looks like a more closer assumption that we need to make. 21st 13, but there is nothing in that case in this project which is hit the 100% mark, right? And yeah, the real government projects are supposed to be like that, right? So otherwise, our country would have moved much ahead. Even there, I can see 130%, but it looks like more. $333. Don't tell me we have a project with 333% of completion. Okay, I just need to look into which field that I'll be sending across to you guys. Maybe today I don't think many of those will be working. So I may have to pick this up and then I'll be sending it across to which field that needs to be done. So let me keep a note of it. Hold on a minute. Okay, it's much easier for me to take a note over here itself, right? So that I can directly send it in an email. Let me take it over here only. So that it will be useful for even the next bash, guys. Find out. So problem statement 1. Which field determines the percentage completion, right? Find out the risk to achieve 100% objective. But there was a field percentage object. I saw a percentage objective over here, something. Project objective. Oh, yeah. Project objective percentage. I guess this should be the guy, but then I don't see anyone who has completed 100% for that. Yeah, everything is 0 and 1. In that case, I mean, your report will look pretty. Yeah, it's complete 0. So maybe we have to do some percentage. It's not object completed or something. Let's make it as change the problem statement slightly to make it as at least was met a 50% or something of that. Let's see. In case we need to change the percentage objective to a lower number. All right. Okay, that's fine. Let me highlight it so that I take a note of it. Okay. So the next one, write a big UDF to filter the district who has reached 80% of their objective. Okay, there's already two objectives. One is percentage, 80%, and then other one, 80%. So exactly the same solution might be much easier, but we want to get this accomplished using a big UDF. So that should be the technical key or challenge over here. Problem statement 2. So this also holds the same thing, right? So let me make it as both PS1 and PS2. This is what we need to accomplish. Yeah, but looking at the description, I truly feel this is the one. So this is exactly how those of you guys who has really worked in. So only this much information will be provided to you. You'll have to get back and forth and try to get which field we need to look in for and all those things. But assumption may be a costly affair when you're actually doing the project, right? So one possibility is this one, another possibility is this one. So it's better to get it confirmed, hitting which one to be need to go for. And it's more of, I don't know, it's more covering Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, okay, everywhere it's there. I'm interested if there are any project in Bangalore being initiated. Okay. Fine. So what are the questions that you have now? So problem statement, I mean, except for the fact that which field we need to look for, is everything else clear? What needs to be done? Which field we need to look, I'll confirm with you guys. Let me speak to them and see which field really need to. So my assumption would be the one field which we are looking into. What are the question that's really... Is this problem statement clear, by the way? Or you want me to repeat, or how is it? Or the entire flow? Is there anything that's... Okay. Yeah, except for the fact that which field needs to be used, remaining everything is pretty fine, right? Everyone is fine with what needs to be done. Okay, great. Okay. And what I would recommend is, I mean, this looks like a pretty small problem for you. This just the problem statement, but getting that entire will be the biggest challenge. So our intention over here is not really you mastering on the reporting part, but you're mastering on multiple tools that we have covered. So as many number of tools you can use. So that's one whole and sole reason for us to bring in this diagram itself, because this is one technology being used. Sorry, this is one technology being used. This is one way to use XML stuff and how to convert that to CSV. And this might be one of the key stuff which you'll be getting in your real-time environment. I'll be showing you this at a high level, how exactly, but I will not be sharing the document or anything of that sort. So showing what needs to be at a high level, how exactly, and it's not an easy task to get this converted to a CSV format. So you may have to do some sort of a regex, regular expression needs to be changed and all those things. You may have to play around with it. Okay, which you have to even take a help of Google and all those things. But at a high level, I'm going to show you guys what needs to be done. And then from here to here, this might be a smooth path for you guys. You would have done a n number of. So this is a challenging area. And in always this case, the real-time scenario in a project, always this phase is the one which you're going to take a lot of time. So remaining this phase is going to be a very, very easier task as far as the technology is concerned. Here, the only issue that we may face is with the business, because you may pull a report and they may say, no, this was not my expectation. I was thinking this employee field to be coming in the first with employee salary with a 2-digit this thing. So that reformatting is the biggest pain over here, this part. Whereas technology pain comes in under this part. So that's how the real big data ecosystem projects really are. I mean, for that matter, I think any project, right? The initial stuff is the one which is really tough to crack. Final reporting stuff might be easy, but only thing is to satisfy the need of the business is the biggest challenge, right? So if no more questions, let's at a high level have a glance through what needs to be done. Okay. So Flume stuff, I showed you which document you need to rely on, and it's not pretty straightforward stuff. You have to rely on a little bit of Google, and I definitely do recommend for you to get yourself used to which link to go for. I mean, Stack Overflow is, I mean, I guess everyone is quite aware of Stack Overflow. So that's one thing which you really rely on. Anyway, you are not going to directly go to Stack Overflow and type in. You will be just Googling it. That will be routing you to Stack Overflow. So that's one way where you're going to learn a lot of things. And one key thing which I will create a document for yourself. I mean, a learning document kind of a thing. And then keep pushing your steps. Whatever you learn, just take an update on it. And once in a while, just go through that. And that is the only, because this is such a vast environment. Within 2 months, you absolutely will not have clue. In case exactly the similar kind of situation arises, you will completely forget. So I would definitely recommend create a learning document. And if you guys want to group yourself, like I'm pretty much sure everyone knows everyone's email ID and all those things, right? You can yourself make a group or something, share your experience. This is the new learning what I had. I mean, that's one real nice way of getting it learned. I tried, but in having what was that, Mac? I tried that, but and then end up in having multiple docs. That's true. That's the ground reality of it. But I guess that's one. Yeah, I mean, even I have started up when I started my initial career, and this is my almost 17 year. Yeah, there is a huge amount of document. That's something which I really even don't know where exactly what found. But still, I would say that definitely would be a good practice, at least to store something for the big data environment and keep pushing it. Maybe an Excel sheet or something like that. So each tab you have big Hive, whatever it is, and share your each and everyone's knowledge. So that's how exactly you're going to survive in this environment. It's moving together with each and everyone's experience, because there might be a lot of interesting case that you guys might be facing. So where you may have to see, and even at times what you can see is there might be someone else who has done it exactly the same solution what you're talking about in a much easier way. Okay, so there you go, you get benefited with each other's experience. Because that's one of the biggest problem which I face. So that's exactly which I'm trying to share you, because almost exact similar issue you might be facing even after 6 months. It's very, very tough for you how exactly you figure out a solution. The whole and sole reason being, every day there is a new for over here. Okay, and every 3 months you may find a new release and entire technological shift and all those things, which will create a lot of difference in what you have learned in your career track. Now let's have the big stuff. So this is something which I'm going to cover now. Okay, I mean not cover, in fact, just show you guys. Not much of a discussion. I mean, it looks little creepy stuff. Let me just copy paste it so that it's complete playing around with regex. Okay, this many stuff. Remaining stuff, it's pretty simple. Not bad. Control V. See, I really don't mind giving you this information because at the end of it, it's our intention is not getting. See, at the end of it, it's just you as a person needs to, right? I mean, our ultimate goal is how well you can, in a real-time environment, you need to know how to handle such kind of a scenario. It's not our 10th or 12th standard exam where we need to scoring high and getting this thing. So at the end of it, the learning is what the key important stuff. How exactly some kind of situation. That's where I said it's very, very important for you to know to Google it and then try to come up with an answer, because that's the only means by which, because any problem that you're going to get, you would not have experienced that in your past. So you need to intelligently know how to Google it and get those stuff done. Okay, so this is a regex solution, which is a humongous one. And this is exactly you may end up doing also. Let me just do a split of it. Project. Yeah, so this is exactly what it is. So word wrap, and I think, yeah, some of you guys at this session. So I guess only it was there we explained where exactly, I think in tutorials point, right? That's exactly where we saw some of the regex. One key thing now, in your project, I was explaining the same thing yesterday. So this part of cleaning the data, that's exactly where you might be dedicating or spending your 70% of the time. You have to literally clean the data, will be your humongous task, and your brain is going to work on that cleaning data rather than this part. This part is actually a child's game. There's not much. Either you may have to do a select, a minor stuff only comes. Okay, so mostly this is the one which might be a dirty data, and you have to really involve your brain and how exactly you can accomplish that. So regex, playing around with that much closer one will definitely save you a lot of work. So that would be my recommendation. Yeah, this is exactly how it's been done. So regex extract all. Yeah, once you get it in this format, things are fine. So one other thing which you need to know is to is there another? Yeah, so these are the two jars you need to register. That's also you need to know. Okay, so I'm giving you a much more hint that I'm supposed to. These two jars you need to register, big XML and %.jar. I'm pretty much not sure why exactly where exactly this has been used, but big XML is the one which we're using over here, and to get it converted. So I would definitely recommend you guys to try doing this stuff. Flatten is something which we already discussed. In case if I have a group being done, how exactly ungroup it. So basically, flatten is nothing but an ungroup command. I guess in Hive you have a ungroup stuff also, something of that sort. So flatten is exactly the same thing. So which is again another powerful one. So big and all these tools have some minor stuff which is very, very powerful. So in case if you want to take a count or something of that sort, so that's where my flatten stuff is going to help me out. Okay, so this is fun. As far as the solution is concerned, what else you need to look into? Oh, yeah, it's a big solution. Final project scoop. Yeah, so that's pretty straightforward. You're going to do an export. So all this while you have been playing around with import, now you have to do an export. Okay, export into SQL database. So that's not a big deal. This is the person jar which you have picked up. Confirm XML. This should be the one big solution. And then this is the Java solution. Okay. No, that's something which I. So that's either done in Java or in Pig. So I would definitely recommend to do a Pig solution rather than a Java one. That may be much easier for you guys to handle. And see, if you're able to come up with a result, even if you want to go for a Python, I mean, technology-wise, it's fine. So even if you, but I don't think there are any Python guys over here, right? There's no. Is there anyone who is learning Python or learned Python or worked on Python over here? Okay, my recommendation is to slowly start getting into it because that's something which I've been recommending to everyone. I mean, I myself is learning it, so that's not the reason for making you guys learn because I find that's going to be the need of an hour going forward with another two years or something, which you may really see the powerfulness of Python. The same MapReduce program itself you can do in a much simpler way. Let me do one thing. Let me share you guys that so that I can bring in some interest for you guys for Python. So I'm also doing some course where our solutions are completely written in Python. So very small program which does the MapReduce stuff for you guys in Python. I can share. I mean, this is nothing to do with the project. Okay. I mean, so what I would I'll just show you guys so that just to bring in interest to you guys. I mean, it has nothing to do with our course structure, but it's just a learning. And I would think it's the way Python, the aggressive mode which Python is moving in. Okay, it's going to definitely make an impact. Where is my document now? Document ISV. Data management. Session 2. Okay, I don't think I have copied it. Let me see if it's there in the download. Session 3 lab. Yeah, I think it should be here. If you guys are interested, I can. Yeah. Sorry. Look it over here. This is just our MapReduce program written in Python. Let me copy paste this one. I'm not just trying to complicate things, okay? I mean, this is nothing to do with our normal curriculum. I'm just trying to share you guys with an additional something which I find it's pretty good for you guys to learn. So we really don't believe just learning just for the namesake of it. So that's how we operate. Okay, this is the guy. Okay, and let me remove all the comments so that you guys can really visualize how small is your program. Okay, I'm just going to remove this. Done. And this is also done. Okay, that's it. This is my MapReduce program. Isn't it interesting stuff? Yes, just one line code for the reducer class. I mean, sorry, the driver class, and one line code for even for the reducer class. Look at over here. So this is how, and in case if you guys are interested, so that's really I said. So the kind of development this Python guys are making up is definitely going to be a real good, good stuff going forward. So that's where even Java is trying to get in all those lines. But yeah, and it's slightly different from the mapper. So if you guys, I'm not really sure if I'm because even I do have some sort of. That's true. It's going to save a lot of development effort. One book which I'm relying on, which is available freely, so I don't want to send it across to you guys, but I'll just show you guys which I'm. So you can just download it. It's available freely in net. Maybe IT ebooks or something. So DM, yeah, Hadoop with Python. So this is a guy. So the way it looks like, let me move to the first page. Yeah, this is how it looks like. Hadoop with Python. Pretty interesting book, very nicely written. So anyway, so this is environment where you cannot think of sitting and relaxing. So because if you start relaxing, there are some stuff going to overcome you. So you may have to go and get yourself in sync with the technology and stuff like that, and keep moving. Then another thing might be slowly, which may either R or Python, I guess. So even R is picking up with a very fast pace. So when you actually start working on a project, so that's definitely going to add much value to your resume. So make sure you are getting it, because Python is definitely something is really required. That's all the story. I'm yet to get a confirmation on what is the second project, so I do have only this project information. I don't know. One more project is supposed to be there. Let me try to figure out what exactly is that going to be now. So I think we should be able to cover within 2 sessions. We should be able to good to wind up. But yeah, whatever you are doing, so make sure you practice this stuff. That's the key thing required. As I mentioned earlier session, don't keep it for a month. Then you are definitely not going to get benefit out of this courses, or the money that you spend. It's not worth it if you're keeping it. So at least whatever it may be, 2 days once, you need to do some 15 minutes, spend some 15 minutes. Okay, the next question, mini project where we need to send. GitHub is, are you guys facing so much of issue with the GitHub, is it? GitHub is one preferred. I mean, GitHub, see, in a real world, you definitely need to know GitHub. How exactly you can clone data and pick up data and do it. So why don't you guys take some additional effort and try to get these things, everything in GitHub? And that's what the recommended solution, because in a real environment, you are going to do it 90% of time, you're going to do it in GitHub. So it's neat. So even you can, reflect in your resume too. GitHub knowledge. It is really required. How do you fork it? How do you clone it? And it's all very, very simple stuff. Man, cloning is going to give you the entire clone. Oh, repository URL. Okay. Okay, I need to check that. Where exactly is we need to get that submitted? I just need to see. Okay, let me put that. I'm not sure whether I have discussed or this information was given to me. I don't recollect. But anyway, I'll just try to get this information, pass it on to you guys. Anything that you guys want to discuss? Any environment? You can try. Looking at this scenarios, I don't see anything more that required. Oh, I think I even need to. Okay, let me take this note somewhere else. I think I have to send more notes on it, right? Okay, it's canceling it. Send notes on GitHub. I need to not GitHub. Scoop. Why is it doing your word? Okay, in case this project increases. Okay, third one was send scoop document. Scoop document. Okay, for this project, we will be doing scheduling using Uzi. This project, as far as concerned, we don't need to, but in case if you can come up with a solution of Uzi, it will be well and good. You can try doing that. But not as far as the solution. I mean, submission is concerned. You don't need to worry about Uzi stuff. And Uzi, you might be finding some issue at times with our existing VM, okay? Because at times it gives us a configuration error kind of a thing, so it doesn't work that well. I guess team is working on it, how to get that sorted out. But yeah, in any other VM instances, you can go ahead and do it. So it's Hue is being used. So just for you guys learning purpose, you can do it as what did I do? You can write a MapReduce program, okay, and then you're going to get a result, right? That result you can use, schedule it using Hive. Not really. Let me give the sequence. The sequence which I did initially started with, I did a pig. Okay. There was around 10 column. It just randomly picked up. So I guess I have already given you some data set you can play around with, right? So think of 10 column was there. I did it using pig and reduce it to filter it to 5 columns. Okay. And then I did a MapReduce program, which is Java. If required, you can even change it to Python or based on your. I mean, this is not I'm talking about with respect to the project which you're doing. This is a later learning when you can want to get accustomed with even Uzi. Java, MR, cleansing of data cleansing, just like that, and then use Hive, and then bring the report, create a report using Hive, creating report. Okay, so this is exactly what has been done, and everything is being chained using the Uzi one. First peg has been done. Once it completes it successfully, then it will be immediately picking up MapReduce stuff, and once it kicks off, you can start firing the Hive one. So in that sequence, it was being done. So once you're done with your project and stuff like that, you can try exploring this option. And the one which I'm using now, apart from from the Cadgil VM, even I'm playing around with let me show you that, the one which I have installed, because that comes up with a lot more component than the Cadgil existing VM. So this comes up. This is CDH 5.5.5.0 Kickstart VM. So this comes up with a lot more. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, we are not someone who want to compete with the kind of infrastructure that Cloudera is giving. Okay, so we believe going in hand. So there might be a lot of things. So once you are practicing all this stuff, I would definitely think you guys need to move forward using some of this CDH installations and play around. You can see a lot of more ecosystem over there, full-fledged ecosystem. So this is something which I hope you guys know where to pick up this CDH Cloudera. What is that? CDH stands for Cloudera. I can't recollect on top of my mind. Yeah, on Cloudera website. Yes, it's available on Cloudera. So in case it's 4.5 GB file, how you want to search is CDH 5.5 quick start VM or something of that sort. Where it vanished? Where is it? Where is it? Cloudera. Sorry, CDH 5.5. CDH 5.5. Kickstart for whichever, for VMware or for VirtualBox. I was facing a lot of issue with VMware. Maybe my lack of knowledge on how to deal with it, because my font has become very small. I mean, that's one reason which I have not picked it up during our session and stuff like that. So Sol Kickstart VM. So this is where you need to give me a second, guys. Somebody's at the door. Okay, sorry. Yeah, this is where you need to pick that stuff from. Okay, quick start download for CDH 5.5. Choose your platform, VirtualBox or VMware. I have not used any of these guys, Docker Image and KVM. I really don't know anything about that. So this is where you pick your VirtualBox or VMware and just download now. So, and that download guy is will look exactly like this. But yeah, our statutory warning would be this is heavy resource intensive. Okay, and if you're using anyone using 4 GB RAM, or almost everyone is using 4 GB RAM over here. Okay, 4 GB RAM will be very, very, very tight, very slow. Okay, great. Yes, I could. So in case possible, I would definitely recommend to upgrade it Yeah, upgrade to 8 GB one. That is what I would recommend. RAM wise, uh, mine is this one is an 8 GB RAM, but still it takes a long. It used to work fine with my when I was using Mac OS, but now when I moved to Windows thing, I've done a dual boot and made it to Windows because of my course, whichever the one which I'm doing. So because of that, it is really slow down the process. Yeah, but there are peers of mine, colleagues of mine, who's using 8 GB, okay, with this one. So they have reduced the memory slot and all those things, but it is really slow. I mean, it is real slow. You may find at times really frustrated the moment you don't get it up running in your system. Okay, so yeah, this is something which let me show how does it look like. I'm working on 6th assignment, but there is a problem that I can't print year and count using system. Basically, is it asking for system.out print? I mean, I would definitely recommend you sending a note to the support guys, because I have not looked into. I mean, that doesn't. Uh, I really have a very little time to get those things sorted. I would definitely recommend you to send a note to the. Put me also on loop, so in case if there is some issue coming up, I'll also try to respond to it. Ratna. But system.out.println, are you directly giving it on the program? So this is how the Cloudera stuff looks like in the program, and then where are you getting that log? Sorry, the or at the end of the reducer. The intention is what? Intention is what you want to print the data coming in over there. I think that should directly go and sit in the log, because even okay, context.write after context.write. Okay. Uh, Basically, Hadoop development guide had one exact similar kind of thing, where in case if you provide additional parameter, they're just trying to get it printed in this thing. So I would even recommend to, but go ahead and send a note to the whatever issue coming, and loop me also in. So in case if you have, whenever there is time, we can have a look at it. So just to understand, what exactly is the issue that you're facing? You are you're really not able to print it, or that print statement is not getting executed, or is it giving you a syntax error kind of thing? And this is assignment number 6, is it? Okay. Yeah, I'll also try to have a look what exactly is happening over there. But I don't think anytime soon I will be, because print line is giving error. Hmm. Okay. Need to see. Okay, you need to print year and count. But that print year and count, are you not doing are you really printing it, or are you not writing it context.write? So apart from writing in the context.write, you're actually printing it, is it? I mean, is that the assignment asking you to do? That's something strange case, because I have never, I mean, not never, I have done a little bit of println in just for that parameter's sake. But unless and until I don't want to do that, I directly write it into my file, which will be accomplished by context.write. So I'm not sure why exactly you have been made to. Okay, part R00 is giving correct output. Oh, that's great. Okay. After that, you're telling the sysprintln is. I really need to see because I'm really not aware of what we normally do. But yeah, our support team are the guys who really play around with it. I hardly get time to really look into this stuff. So since my co-host parallelly running this session, my job, too many things to handle. So second assignment, is it? Let me take a note of it. So in case whenever I have some time, I second assignment. And you said something six, and what exactly is six? Sixth assignment. Okay, it's actually not six, but it's second assignment, right? Usage of system.out.println. Yeah, but please, because I definitely don't want to give a undue promise because I really find a lot many stuff for me to do. So I would definitely recommend it to. Session 6 assignment to Olympic data. Is that the one you're talking about? All right. Okay. So make sure, please send it across to them. They will be much helpful. Session 6 assignment 2. Great. Olympic data. Yeah, I hardly look into those assignments area because it's. But since you said, I'll try to find some time doing it, but I don't think anytime soon. Till Tuesday, I'm completely booked. Okay. Anything that we need to discuss more? I mean, try utilizing this session as some 15 more minutes. Yeah, and you guys have your not your hour match in the evening, right? So everyone might be prepared for even going for that. 11 o'clock. So we're close to 20 minutes. So anything that needs to be discussed, Hive advanced stuff. So do you guys have that? Yeah, I think I have shared the document with the complex data type, right? That's something which you need to know. How do you handle it and stuff like that. And I think I have shared both the data stuff. What else is it for you guys to know? And yeah, make sure that one single flow of a project. I mean, that's something which will really give you in confidence in attending some of those interviews and stuff like that. So before the real demand gets creeping in too much, so you should also be prepared for the environment. And I guess once you really do this assignment stuff, you should be able to really kick off with getting yourself prepared for interview and stuff like that. And yeah, one other thing which I would definitely say is make sure you're keeping your LinkedIn page up to date. Now, a lot of opportunities and all those things. Oh, hope everyone has a LinkedIn page, right? So in case if you don't have, make sure you are keeping it up to date with your latest. Yeah, but Wake up, you are going for your higher studies after your experience or something, or you are just continuing your academic. Your MTech has been done, MS, right? MS or MTech after your BTech or in a flow, or you're taking a break, did your work and then going. Okay, 2 year experience in web development. Yeah, I think definitely you need to definitely update your LinkedIn profile because too many things happen. Okay, and yeah, so make sure you're doing that. Yeah, and any of the project that you've done, some sort of a mini project or something, just make sure you're thorough in that small project, a small chunk of it. It may not be a very complicated or advanced stuff, but you can just mention in your accomplishment as a POC, proof of concept, and what all stuff you have done and technical advancement. So that's really working out for many. Uh, at times, people do say, ki, yeah, you're not preferring for POC because there are too many guys coming up with the POCs. And issue what we are facing in terms of a recruitment is, uh, okay, proof of concept is what POC is. It's nothing but the mini project you're talking about. So any n number of guys who doesn't have a real experience, what they're trying to do is they're trying to say this proof of concept and a mini project they're done, but literally copied from somewhere. Okay, and if you ask any minor points in that particular project, they're really not able to answer it. So that should not be your case. So make sure whatever you're doing it, whatever you're projecting out in your LinkedIn, you thoroughly know what exactly you're done. And even if it's a minor thing, just showcasing it would be much better. So that should be one complete ecosystem. Okay, so don't just write, okay, I have written this Hive and picking up Hive data, creating a report. No. So like in this project, if you're doing the full-fledged project, just try to project out that. So this is the kind of proof of concept you've done. And this is ecosystem, actually what all technology. And slightly mention any interesting learning or something that's really can impress someone, a recruiter, for picking up your profile. So I think to the current ecosystem, it's become much more favorable for the candidates who really work hard and try to get it done. Because initially you have to really go for some major corporate, and then said now there are n number of opportunities waiting for it. Only thing is, yeah, how much dedication and support you give for your work. I mean, in your learning, I meant that can really fetch you a much better opportunity. That's true. That's true. So that's where uh, Sagar's question. So an actual project, yes, you might be working, but this case is 50-50 chance. Okay, so now the ecosystem is in such a way that in our project, we do expect, I mean, specifically people to know almost everything. Yeah, sky is the limit. So basically, and this Hadoop project or the big data environment, how exactly is working in the real-time environment, what I'm talking about is projects is last maybe 4 or 5 years. Okay. Sorry, 4 or 5 months I'm talking about. The project might be lasting, but your role will be having a span of around 4 months or something. So think of an example if you're doing a project for Airtel. Okay. In Airtel itself, you may have subgroup, right? You may have some 3 or 4 subgroups. So you may keep switching one group to another group, one project to another project, where you may have to really skill. The first project might be a lot to do with Hive. The next one, you may have to do some analytics on top of it. You may be using R. The next one, you need to do a lot of data scraping. So you need to learn Python. So in our experience, what we are finding is a lot of US-based clients, they themselves are not very sure which sort of an ecosystem you are. So if you are really convincing enough, okay, the technology which you should be going for is this particular thing. Because of the reason you can do this better, I think you can really, I mean, if you are an influencer with the technological skill, you should be able to make the client in the way you want it. I mean, that's exactly what is some of the change what we are seeing in the current ecosystem. Because a lot of guys will be business analysts and stuff like that, and the counterpart you might be interacting with in the client side, who does complete knowledge and ecosystem. So what I'm trying to say is, in the traditional environment, it's not that easy for you to convince them and tell, okay, this is something which is concrete. You believe this technology needs to be used. No one is going to give a give a value for your step. I mean, I'm getting some sort of words which I should not be using. Give a value for your thoughts. Okay, so what you should be using is, you should be. I mean, in the current ecosystem, how the thing is, you can really be an influencer over here. Okay, and say what sort of language you need to use, because you have exposure to it, and exactly the exposure, whatever you're having doing this mini project and all those things, you may have to come up with that. Yeah, so that's where it is. Yeah, so I would say each of this learning, give it with full sense, and try to don't get this as, okay, I need to fill my assignment, so I'm doing it. No, you give your complete passion towards it. And I would say, I guess, since it's a small group of guys, so you can pick up each other's email ID from the email list, whatever you're getting. Make a group of yourself and try to share each other's learning, come up with those projects. You yourself can, because I've shared you all those data. Think of the possibility of you guys coming up with it. It will be an interesting stuff, I tell you. So that is somewhere, and that can, and there are so many NGOs and all those guys available now who is looking for help. So that can be an experience for you, and it might be a benefit. So you may not be in the initial phase, may not be paid for the work what you do, but slowly you can. I mean, that's how you're going to market yourself. A lot of heavy lifting stuff is there. Oh, that's great. That's great. I know that. So make sure you're having some sort of a project stuff, and get those project details being shared across, and you can be of help for each other, and try to come up with some sort of, and in a group, it's very, very easy. I mean, you to get a project, kind of a project, because when I was doing my learning, I have saw similar kind of a thing happening. So they want some group to come up with an NGO. There are so many meetups be happening. So whenever you have time, try to make sure. Hope you guys all are in some sort of meetup and stuff like that, right? So everyone know about the meetup stuff? Okay, that's something which is, anyone know? Okay, just let me change the question. Anyone know about the meetup? Looks like no one. So there are, first thing that you need to do, I think, since meetup.com, right? Available meetup. Yeah, this is exactly what it is. So sign into it. You see near to a surrounding area what are the meetups. So I think there was a meetup happened yesterday. Because of my tight schedule, I was not able to, on Spark. There was a meetup on Spark. Oh, okay. Did you guys get a Spark? No. We are supposed to send you Spark notes. I'm assuming no, right? Yeah. Okay. Documents on Spark needs to be sent to the participant. Okay, I'm assuming no one received. I mean, no one got it, right? So if you, nothing. So I didn't get it. It's no one should have. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll be getting that. Even I'm looking for one of the good Spark book as such. So in case if I should soon be able to know which is the best when I'm doing similar kind of a course. So In case if I get some knowledge, I'll be sharing it across to you guys. Okay. What were we discussing? Okay, meetup.com. So this is very, very important stuff. So this is, I have gained a immense amount of knowledge with this stuff. So go to meetup.com, register yourself, and then find out of an area of your preference, like what sort of an area. So just give big data Hadoop. Any meetups that's going to happen near to your place, it's prompt you give you. Just make sure you're attending those meetups. So yesterday's meetup was there somewhere in Bangalore. So near to your city, whichever, if you're not interested in traveling, just see somewhere it might be there. So make sure you're attending some of those Hadoop meetups as of now, which can give you a very good insight on what is happening around the system and give you much knowledge on what the organizations are doing. It's a free of cost. No one charge you for anything. And you may get, I think what I heard is yesterday's Spark meetup, they distribute a t-shirt, they give you pizza, some gives you a beer and stuff like that. The one which I attended the last. So it's definitely an entertainment for you guys. Okay, hold on a minute, please. Sorry, guys. I can see some chat. Where is any information? Yeah. Okay, so this is not this is something very, very serious. So the meetup stuff. So I would definitely recommend you guys. And anyone knows about this meetup stuff? Or absolutely no one knows about it, because there are a number of community now. There travel, there are yoga, and this community is growing like anything. So people are religiously using this stuff for any sort of entertainment. But yeah, I mean, very, very good sessions there. Yeah, I'm talking about the yesterday's one. Even I was planning to, but my schedule has made me, looks like, I don't think within another 6 to 7 months I will not be able to attend any. But it's a good learning sessions. So plan for it. Make sure you're registering to it. Hadoop meetup, and it makes sense if you try your own work, do some sort of a hands-on, and then getting used to, then you will actually come to, and many of the meetups, there are some hidden motive behind it, because we also do our organization also. What we try to do is, if there are real good talented people, okay, some startups basic intention is, if there are real good talented people, the intention of those meetups are just to hire them, just pick them up. So if you are able to impress them with your knowledge stuff, I think it's an easy cakewalk for getting a job in this area. So utilize those resources. Anything more? We have just 5 more minutes left, and I'm giving you guys. Hope I'm not making you guys bored, giving all my passion and philosophy. I had something worth it. I can just. Okay. Okay, I mean, if nothing more to share, if you have nothing, we can. One question: can we call reducer code from driver? If so, what is the code? Reducer code from driver. What do you mean by that? Can we call reducer code from driver? Yeah, so we can do, right? So when you write reducer, that's exactly what I'm doing actually, right? So I mentioned my, what is that? I can't recollect the entire syntax now. So I mentioned a mapper, which is my mapper dot class, and reducer, yeah, my reducer dot class, right? Set reducer class, and inside that you're going to mention my reducer dot class, correct? So you should be using this in the driver class only. Yeah, I mean, is that the one which you're asking, Sapna, or is it something which we don't understand? So even when you did your word count example, okay, just picking up from the high level. I'm assuming you want to pass specific variable. See this, see set reducer class, right? Int some reducer dot class. I want to get specific variable from reducer. Okay, you want to emit that particular variable to the file which you're going to write? Is that what you're asking? Or I'm not really getting. Yeah, that's, see, for here example, when we say word count example, or in our temperature example, we are trying to get a temperature and, sorry, the year and the temperature, right? That's exactly what you're emitting, right? So both are variables, right? So this context or right. So year and temperature, right? So that's is that the one it is reducer only, right? Yeah, this in some reducer. So is that what you're asking, or want to get specific variables from reducer? Oh, you want to get this and do some processing again on top of it, is it? Oh, no. I would have given a straightforward answer, no. But what I'm seeing over here, looking at that, showing you guys that Python example, right? So this Python example, what it's doing is there are n number of mapper and n number of reducer, which actually surprises me. I never knew this concept. Okay. So look at over here. This is not as part of the course or curriculum. Okay. I mean, this is something pretty new to even me. So look at the way our driver is written. So in case if I have multiple driver, this is how this is my driver. What I'm writing in Java, this is exactly written a driver file in my Python. Okay, so I have MR step, mapper, reducer, and next it's going to go for reducer, again going to go for a mapper. This really drives me crazy, man. I mean, I never even knew such kind of a concept exists. So my concept in terms of Java, this thing was it's going to go, and I think it still holds good for Java. So there's a mapper, there is a reducer, and if you want to have another variable taking it up, the only possibility what I was thinking is I need to write a new MapReducer code, and that the output of that first MapReduce should be taken as an input for the second MapReduce code, and then do it. I mean, that's my learning when I did all this learning. But this is something new I'm finding in Python. And in case if you guys are really interested in looking at this one, go ahead with that book which I'm talking about. That actually gave me a very different insight of MapReduce programming, Hadoop with Python, and just data. Right, this is also some interesting stuff. But this is something which has all these programs which I am showing you. So as far as the current knowledge of mine goes, and doing that using a Java Sapna, what you have to do is I take that, write it out, emit it out in the file, like part -r-000, the 5 zeros file, right? Then what I do is I write another MapReduce program, read that particular thing which has been emitted, and then I do it. I mean, that is the only possibility with which I know. But I may be proven wrong with this kind of stuff. So if Python can do, definitely Java also would have made themselves something to do that. But this is really, I mean, if you're trying to do this stuff in a Java code, you may have to write more than 100 to 200 lines of code. I can bet you on the fact. So this is what Python brings for you. And pretty simple logic, how to handle and do it. But yeah, even I'm in the phase of learning it. So best thing to learn all those guys would be Hadoop to Python. Now I'm not sure how well I answered your stuff. So at the current knowledge what you're having, I would say it's better to write it into a file and then treat that as an input file. For the next program what you write, take it up and then process it again. Okay. But in case if you want to innovate more, I would say go ahead with this Python. Here you can do exactly the same thing. Mapper, reducer, then again go to a mapper, again go to a reducer. It keeps the chain keeps increasing it. Yeah, we already overshot. Nothing more if you want to say. Let's catch up for next Tuesday. Okay, I have some action item that I need to do from my end. Yes, I'm going to send the problem statement for today's. Yeah, so it's as Mike is telling, can you just send it? This I'm going to send you guys this straight away. Okay, this is not this one. That's my stuff. Yeah, this one. Okay, this you need to pick this data from here. So entire instruction of how exactly that needs to be done is given over here. So please make sure you are doing this the entire stuff one by one and getting. So any issues, make sure. I mean, hope you know support@acadgill.com. That's where you need to send an email. So in case you want to loop me also, please feel free to do that. Yeah. All right. So let me straight away send this across to you guys. And you have a wonderful weekend. Speak to you on Tuesday. All right. Thank you very much, guys.